Have you ever noticed how you know the names of some missing people, but not others? It's a strange thing, right? Well, today we're diving into that haunting question. Why do some cases become these huge national obsessions, while thousands of others, well, they just seem to vanish without a trace?
This quote, man, it just hits you. It perfectly captures that profound silence felt by so many families whose loved ones disappear, and it feels like the world just doesn't even notice.
And the difference is just night and day. On one side, you've got these cases with nonstop news coverage, nationwide search parties, and all this public outrage. And on the other, maybe a quick mention on the local news if they're lucky. It leaves families to search desperately, pretty much all on their own.
So what's going on here? What's driving this huge difference in attention? Well, it turns out it's not random at all. There's actually a documented pattern at play, one that journalists and researchers have a name for: missing white woman syndrome. But first, let's just get a sense of the scale of this problem. 600,000. That's how many people are reported missing in the United States every single year. I mean, just try to picture that. It's like the entire city of Baltimore or Milwaukee just gone. And the vast majority of those cases, they never make the national news, not even close.
So what is this syndrome exactly? Well, the term was coined by the legendary journalist Gwen Iffel, and it describes this phenomenon where the media and the public get absolutely fascinated with cases that involve young, white, often well-off women, while at the exact same time, cases involving people of color or people from poorer backgrounds are just overlooked. Yeah, the research shows a really clear pattern. The cases that get that intense 24/7 media spotlight, they almost always check the same boxes. The person is young, female, white, middle class, and, yep, often described as photogenic. If a case fits that profile, it is way more likely to get sustained coverage.
To really see how this plays out in the real world, let's look at a story that tragically highlights the consequences of this. Let's talk about the case of Marisol Vega.
So Marisol Vega was a 35-year-old mother of two. She was the kind of person who worked double shifts at her diner to provide for her family and still made time to coach her daughter's soccer team. She was a rock in her community. And then, one morning, she was just gone.
Now, you always hear that the first few hours are the most critical in any investigation. Well, Marisol was last seen at 7:15 in the morning. Her car wasn't even found for 4 days. And it took that long, a full 4 days, for an official police search to even get started.
So you have to ask, why the delay? Why wait so long? Well, when our panicked family went to file a missing persons report, this was the response they got from law enforcement. Wait and see if she comes back on her own. A mother of two, a super reliable employee, just vanishes into thin air. And the advice is to just wait.
And if you want to see just how different the response can be, look at this. When you compare Marisol's case to another high-profile case from the same state, it's just staggering. For Marisol, a Latina mother, one single detective was assigned. For the wealthy, white college student, more than 40 law enforcement personnel. 4 days to start a search versus a full-blown operation within 48 hours. Marisol's case was pretty much put on the back burner in less than 3 weeks.
Marisol's story is heartbreaking, and it represents a tragically real pattern. And look, this isn't just a one-off story. The hard data tells the exact same tale. 10 times. Let that sink in for a second. According to the data, Indigenous women are 10 times more likely to go missing than the national average. 10 times. And yet, how often do you see their cases getting national attention? It's incredibly rare.
And we see an equally massive disparity when we look at Black women and girls. They make up nearly 40% of all missing persons cases in the US. 40%. But when researchers looked at national news coverage, their stories got less than 7% of the attention. That gap between reality and what we see on the news is just enormous.
It's really easy to get numb to the numbers, but we can't forget, behind every single one of those statistics, there is a person, a mother, a daughter, a sister, a family that's just desperate for answers.
So okay, why is this lack of attention so dangerous? What's the big deal? What are the actual consequences? Let's break down why attention is so incredibly powerful.
It creates this absolutely devastating cycle of neglect. Let's just walk through it. So, a person of color goes missing. The media is mostly silent. Because of that, there's no public pressure, which can lead to law enforcement deprioritizing the investigation. That means fewer resources, less urgency. And those crucial early leads, they go cold. The case remains unsolved. And tragically,
The whole cycle just continues for the next family.
But here's the good news. There are dedicated people on the ground fighting to break this cycle. Groups like the Black and Missing Foundation, the Sovereign Bodies Institute, and Latina's Safe House, they're doing the critical work that the big headlines often ignore. They are advocating for these forgotten victims every single day.
And really, this is what it all comes down to. Attention. It's a resource. It's a powerful one. It generates tips. It puts pressure on authorities. It gets more boots on the ground. And when that resource is handed out unevenly, well, so is justice.
And all of this leaves us with one last, really tough question to think about. Who decides? Who decides which stories get told, which lives are seen as valuable, and which families deserve the full force of all our collective attention?